Hey guys, it's your girl Jasmine and I'm back with another fancy schmancy video. So in today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys what it's like for me living with ADHD and anxiety. So I was diagnosed with ADHD when I was like 3, 4, or 5, I'm not sure. Ever since then, I was on different types of medication for ADHD. When I was younger, it affected me really bad. I'm still affected by it, but not as much as I used to be. So when I was younger, I would just, be all over the place. It was hard for me in school. It's still hard for me. I still have problems learning. I mean, I may be 20 years old now, but I still have problems reading, and I still have problems comprehending things and writing. Basically, I still have problems in school. What it's like for me now is I'm fidgety a lot. I used to be on Adderall and Concerta when I was younger, but my mom took me off because she didn't like the fact that I was on medication as a young child, and she felt that if I wanted to be on medication, then that would be my decision for when I get older. So throughout high school, I did decide that I wanted to get back on Adderall, so I did. Just throughout my 11th and 12th grade year, and then after I graduated high school, I stopped taking it because I also felt like I don't like being on medication, so I stopped taking it. So throughout high school, it was very hard having that learning disability and not being able to read right. Not like dyslexia, but sometimes when I read, I don't read the right words, or I skip lines, or I just like lose interest and just don't read it at all, or I'll skim through it and just not care. Sometimes also with how ADHD affects me now is, besides being fidgety a lot, I'm always doing something. Like I always have to be running around doing something, whether it's cleaning, organizing, making something. Like I like to do DIY projects because I have to be hands-on doing something, or I'll like go crazy. And then on top of that, with the anxiety, I wasn't diagnosed with that. I just feel like I have it, and a lot of people who I'm with all the time say that I have it too. Is certain things make me really anxious, and some people have a thing where if you're very fidgety, for me, I shake my leg a lot. I don't know why I was pointing to my leg. You can't see my leg, obviously. I shake my leg a lot, or I shake myself, and it bothers people, but it's something I can't help. Or I'll just like get nervous out of nowhere. I'll feel anxious, like for nothing, and it kind of bothers me a lot. But I don't want to be on medication for it because I just don't feel the need to be on medication, because the ADHD does not affect me like it used to. Yes, I still have reading problems. I do have a very hard time reading, and I probably will for a long time, but it's just how I am, and I'm pretty sure I always will. I still have a problem learning in college, yes. When I was in elementary school, middle school, and high school, in my state, they have this thing where you can apply for like extra help, or it's called I think it's a 105 or 405 plan or something like that. I'm not sure what it's called. I don't remember. It's been so long. But I did have that throughout my school years, which is basically you get extra help on tests, exams. You get longer times to do those tests and exams, because personally I take a long time to do tests, because I'll pick an answer and then I'll go back and erase it. I'll change my answer multiple times because I'm just not sure. Also, with ADHD and anxiety, you also ask questions a lot. You ask the same questions multiple times because you need reassurance. That is one big thing that I do. And I do it a lot, and I'm sure it bothers everyone. I'm sure it bothers a lot of people. but I need reassurance constantly. I'm always asking the same questions, reminding people every day if they say they're gonna do something for me or with me, or you know, if like I'm in school and they say, for instance, like you have a test due on this day and you have to study A, B, and C. So I'll ask questions like, you know, in the between of A, B, and C, or like, does C, you know, relate to A, or stuff like that. And so, and I'll constantly keep asking. Like, I don't know why I do it, but I do. I'm definitely a person who does need a lot of reassurance, and it bothers me too. Also, with the ADHD, I have a problem sitting still for a long period of time. I can't sit still. I have to always be up and doing something. I can sit still for about 20 minutes until I start being fidgety and constantly doing something, constantly touching stuff. Like, I always have to touch stuff. Constantly touching stuff, constantly doing something. Like, how I know it still affects me is when I go into stores, I always touch everything. I have to constantly touch stuff. And I don't know why, but I have to. I have to feel things. Like, I have to feel what they, you know, I have to touch it, see what they feel like. Also, what I do that has to do with ADHD and anxiety is, I like, if something feels soft or feels like good on my skin, I will constantly rub that fabric or whatever it is, like, on my skin because it feels good to me. I don't know, it's just strange. Living with ADHD and anxiety is very strange. Like, everyone's different. Everyone has different symptoms, but those are the symptoms for me. And it was a struggle with the ADHD through elementary school and middle school and the first year of high school. But once I like started to grow into it and I realized what it was and how it affected me, I was able to control it. And now that I am older and I understand more about what ADHD really is, I've learned how to control some of the side effects that I couldn't control when I was younger. About the hyper part, I'm still hyper, I'm not as hyper. I try to stay away from a lot of sugar because sugar does make me shake sometimes. Like when I drink tea or coffee or like anything, I don't use real sugar. I use sweetener or Splenda because real sugar makes me feel like I'm gonna bounce off the walls sometimes. Also, you know, it got a lot better as the years went on, and it does feel a lot better. Sometimes it doesn't feel like I have it at all. You know, I may not have it. I may just still, you know, feel like I have it and still have some of the symptoms, but I definitely did have ADHD, and I definitely was on medication for it until I stopped taking the medication. If you have ADHD or anxiety or used to, let me know in the comments and tell me what your side effects or how it affected you or how it affects you. I really do want to know. I want to know if I can relate to somebody on here. This was a little short video on how I go day to day living with ADHD and anxiety. Again, I was not diagnosed with anxiety. I just feel like I have it, and so do other people in my life. But basically with ADHD, I lose interest very fast. I get bored very fast. I always have to be hands-on. I don't really like to eat sugar. And that's basically it. You know, it was hard growing up, but I did learn how to control everything. And I'm glad I did, because if I didn't, then I don't know like where I'd be right now or what I'd be doing right now. But yeah. And as you can see, I'm perfectly fine and I don't need medication. It's all good, and you know, I'm glad I was able to make this video for other people to see what I go through, so maybe they can relate to some topics and be like, oh, okay, you know, she goes through that, so do I. And I'm glad that hopefully you guys, you know, find this video helpful. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.